The Columbus area in Ohio is famous for the Ohio State University, but in the motor racing world, it's this place that puts it on the map. Mid-Ohio, a track steeped in sports car and open-wheel history, but now the NASCAR Xfinity Series is making its mark.
They call his dad awesome. He's been sensational tonight.
He's played him like a fiddle. Chris Buescher picks up the win.
Such a great feeling after 10 years. I'm so happy. I don't know how to tell you.
Checker flag in hand for Chris Buescher. He earned it today.
It's time for Countdown to Green for today's Nationwide Children's Hospital 200, live on NBCSN, your home of motorsport. You know, at Mid-Ohio, you get it all. A beautiful, spectator-friendly venue, great views, and an incredibly challenging racetrack. The rise and fall, the blind corners, and high speeds is what awaits the 40 drivers in today's race. And if you can get one lap around Mid-Ohio correct, you've done well. But today, one is not enough. 75 laps, the journey today. And if the previous 2 years are any guide for these guys, they know that that challenge is more than enough. Great day here in the Buckeye State, and it is getting warmer as the afternoon goes on. We climb now to 80 degrees. There's a light breeze, which will come in handy just to improve that comfort factor a little bit for the drivers, teams, and fans alike. But we did have some early reports of rain, perhaps this afternoon, and even if we do get a few sprinkles, we will go racing. Wet weather tyres are here on hand if needed. Hi, folks. Lee Diffie and Hall of Famer Dale Jarrett with you here trackside at Mid-Ohio. You know, DJ, for the celebrated career that you've had and you've enjoyed, you've been just about everywhere except Mid-Ohio. So earlier today, DJ got to go for a ride around this track, and your first comments were, this is not just any ordinary road course.
No, not at all. I knew what the drivers had been telling me, the difficulty, how narrow it was, the elevation changes, how tight the corners were. But I can tell you one thing, I'm glad I'm talking into this microphone and not holding a steering wheel today, because this is one tough place. And especially for these drivers battling in the points, how much do you push the issue here? Very easy to run off, and it's not very forgiving. You get off, you're going to get in the grass. That's going to mean a entry to pit road to get that cleaned off, and then going to relegate you to probably a bad finish. So these drivers have a tough 75 laps of work ahead of them.
The second of 3 road course races in the Xfinity Series Championship this year. Very much Mid-Ohio could act as a wild card race. Have a look at this though. Chris Buescher, for the last 11 races in succession, has been the top man in the championship. Now, yes, his lead has fluctuated. However, he boasts a 24-point advantage, not only over just Chase Elliott, but Ty Dillon there as well, and Regan Smith. He feels that last weekend in Watkins Glen really affected his championship, but we will see. Now, will today act as a wild card? Well, it might be just more than today, DJ, because we're in the middle of quite the stretch. There's 6 races that are particularly interesting as we show you on the graphic here, because it kicked off at the 7/8 of a mile Iowa Speedway, and we work our way through a really varied stretch of races.
Yeah, you couldn't get more different racetracks and scenarios for these Xfinity drivers, and once again, battling for the championship, than what these 6 tracks are. They bring so many different challenges. Yeah, they were on a road course last week at Watkins Glen, but it was a high-speed road course. This is so much different than with what they'll expect. Go to Bristol next week, always a battle on that half-mile track, and then another road course, and then Darlington. So they've got a tough stretch ahead of them. There are drivers that are looking to catch up, waiting for those guys up front to make a mistake where they can get right back in the battle. But the points leader has to be a little bit on edge today to make sure he doesn't make a mistake. Chris Buescher wants to come out of here. He'd love to go and finish this day where he did last year as the victor, but that's a tall order.
And that's big picture championship-wise. Let's talk specifically road courses. And when you do, there is one team to look at, and that team is Team Penske.
One turn away from NASCAR win #1 for A.J. Allmendinger.
The checker flag and the win for A.J. Allmendinger in Road America.
Roger, if you're watching, I love you. Thank you, baby.
So you're all clear, man. You're doing fine.
4th in the row. Checker flag to Brad Keselowski. Coming through to take the checker flag. A.J. Allmendinger.
Looking for his 25th career win. Joey Logano's going to win at Watkins Glen.
How good is Team Penske on road courses? Well, the captain's men have won 4 of the last 7 road course races in the Xfinity Series, and with 3 different drivers. Well, those impressive numbers keep getting racked up, Dave Burns, because Alex Tagliani in the 22 gave Roger Penske his first pole in Xfinity competition here at Mid-Ohio today. However, that's just qualifying, right?
Absolutely true. He's got a race to run, and he's running it for a very special cause. Kylie's joining us right now as a patient champion for Alex today. So you're on the pole, but that was qualifying. What about the race? Can you take your first Xfinity victory today?
Well, first of all, we're super excited to have her as our patient champion on the Discount 22 car. I was driving my bike on Thursday, and I saw her name like 100 foot long, and I took a picture right beside the number 22. So it was really special and puts things in perspective. So thank you to the Nationwide Children's Hospital for doing what they're doing and helping those kids out. And hopefully we can bring that 22 car in victory lane.
As we talked about in qualifying, it was a blistering lap. He will start first. Jim?
Well, Dave, about 6 weeks ago, Chris Buescher told us that this summer stretch would be a huge key toward winning the championship in 2015. As we're about to show you, it didn't really start off all that well. Chris was struggling to maintain even a top 10 finish, and his competitors were starting to chip away. Look how that thing dwindled. But last weekend at Watkins Glen, everything changed. Chris finished 3rd best Xfinity Series regular, as we are joined by Chris Buescher. Man, what are the keys to victory today now that you turn this around and trending in a positive direction?
Well, good news is we did turn it around. We are on a good roll here. So Watkins Glen was a lot of fun. We're looking forward to getting into the race today. We have a pretty fast Zest Mustang. We feel like we've made some gains from where we were last year, and we had a very fast Ford last year. So if we can just keep it up and try and get back to victory lane, we have a new patient champion. We have William Schaefer on board from Nationwide Children's Hospital this year. The Benner family is all out here sitting over in the S's cheering us on. So we have a little bit of extra pressure. We gotta try and do a repeat here and see if we can't get back to victory lane.
He also has a very fast race car. Chris Buescher will start on the outside of the front row. Alex Hayden?
Chase Elliott will start today in the 6th position. He's been inside the top 10 in all the practice sessions, and certainly qualifying went well, Chase, but practice didn't go without some problems. You had to change transmissions. What are the challenges now as you get ready to run 75 laps, not knowing about the transmission situation?
Yeah, more of hopefully a precaution thing. I wheel hopped a couple times, and the best thing to do is just be honest about it. And we ended up having a couple issues there, so decided to change it. But cool weekend. Have in addition to Napa Auto Parts, we have Nationwide Children's Hospital on board, and Evan Kern signed my hat. So looking forward to the race, and hopefully we can have a good afternoon.
Chase Elliott starts today in the 6th spot.
Searching for his first win in the 2015 championship. All right, we're up and running here at Mid-Ohio. Countdown to green continues as we work ever so close to race 21 of the 2015 NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship. Road courses can bring out a little bit of road rage, and that's what we saw last weekend with Regan Smith and the 3 of Ty Dillon at Watkins Glen International. There was an on-track altercation and there was an off-track altercation. We'll hear from both of them a little later in Countdown to Green. Will we see this again today? Stick around. Did you know that you can get news, results and highlights delivered to your inbox? Simply subscribe to the free official NASCAR newsletter at nascar.com/newsletter. As we welcome you back to Mid-Ohio, Countdown to Green continues. Today is more than just the 21st round of the championship. This is the Nationwide Children's Hospital 200. Racing to recognize an amazing facility, but more to the point, to recognize the work they do for some kids, a lot of kids, with some serious health challenges. The hospital is not that far from here. It's less than an hour away, back towards Columbus, just slightly north of Columbus, Ohio. It is one of the country's leading pediatric facilities, one of the country's leading pediatric research centers. And earlier this week, the junior motorsports drivers Chase Elliott and Regan Smith and others visited the hospital in Columbus and were very touched by their visit.
We got to look at the race cars, all of them. There's, I believe, 10 or 11 race cars that have the special paint schemes and have the patient faces on the cars, and they're going to be riding along with us. To have
a family with us on our race team this weekend kind of makes me want to do really good for them and make them have a good race weekend and a good experience.
When you hear Regan and Chase say for them, they're talking about 10 children who are patient champions. They're paired with a driver. This is the third year now that the Nationwide Children's Hospital has been associated with this race. And also Xfinity getting in as well. With thanks to Xfinity and Taylor Swift, the 10 children receive Taylor Swift swag bags. Lots of good things in there. And the 10 patient champions serve as a group as the Grand Marshal. They met all of the drivers at today's driver meeting. And there they are, acknowledging the 10 children who are here today with their respective drivers. Now, some of those drivers are parents, some aren't. Some, like Alex Tagliani, is a new father. This really runs deep with these drivers. They're not just racing for themselves or their team. These kids have really made an impact on them. And everybody here at this event, this Nationwide Children's Hospital 200, is an extremely important one on the calendar. And for NASCAR itself, it marks a highlight on the annual calendar. And somebody else was extremely moved by his visit, and that is road course specialist Kenny Habul. He's not a full-time NASCAR competitor. He went to the hospital on Thursday and today donated $100,000 of his own money to the Nationwide Children's Hospital. Kenny, congratulations and thank you. That is a very generous donation. After its traditional summer break, the Formula One World Championship returns to your home of motorsport next Sunday, August 23, from the legendary Spa-Francorchamps, the Belgian Grand Prix. People are still buzzing from the Hungarian Grand Prix. We'll see what happens at Spa next weekend on NBCSN. As we welcome you back to Mid-Ohio, people are still very much thinking about Regan Smith, Ty Dillon, Watkins Glen International a week ago. There, as I said earlier, there were on-track altercations, and then that led to an off-track altercation. Now, Ty Dillon put his hand up and said he did make a mistake. However, Regan Smith didn't really want to hear about that, and this was the catalyst. Down into turn one, Dillon into the side on a restart of Regan Smith, turned the 7 around, and Regan felt that that move perhaps may, in the big picture, have taken him out of the championship chase. Now, this happened a little later in the race with 17 laps to go. Smith went around in the carousel and he let his frustration out. It boiled over post-race. He and Dillon not quite coming to blows. People were there to intervene, but it was a pretty high-tempered moment. With more on this, here's Dave.
For sure after last week's race, Regan, how does a driver compartmentalize that, either for later use or for no use again?
Oh, well, it's a new week, and we're here in Mid-Ohio. I've had a fast Nationwide Children's Hospital Chevy all day long. We got Laney on the car with us, so all these kids here want to go put on a good show for them and have a good race. And we're going to work hard all day long to get up front. We're fortunate TaxSlayer was allowed us to run this paint scheme. We're the only car that's got the full paint scheme this weekend, thanks to them. So I'm excited for today. I'm going to go race hard.
Top 10 starting position for Regan today. Well, the other principal in that skirmish at Watkins Glen, of course, Ty Dillon. The direct question, Ty, when a guy guarantees on national television that he's not going to let you win the championship, how do you race Regan Smith?
I race him like I do every week. And just go on from here. We have a fast Yingling Lager Chevrolet. Nick and the guys give me a good race car. Hopefully we'll stay up front and lead a bunch of laps and win this thing. I'm really happy with what we got, and I feel like this is an opportunity for us to win a race.
Got a great starting position. Ty Dillon rolling off third today.
Yes, we'll see what happens a little later on between the 7 and the 3. Now, amongst the 40 drivers in today's race, there, of course, will be road course specialists, and leading that group is the 22 of Alex Tagliani, today's pole sitter. Keep an eye out for Justin Marks. He's won here at Mid-Ohio in sports cars. So too, Boris said. You'll always know that Big Bad Boris will be there. And Andy Lally, a sports car champion and NASCAR Rookie of the Year in Sprint Cup. And he may not have the package that he needs here today, but it's part of the bigger picture to also get ready for Road America as well. Counting down to green, not far away. When we come back, it's time to pay a tribute to a NASCAR legend. This past Monday morning, the NASCAR world was moved. The legend Buddy Baker lost his fight with cancer and passed away on Monday. The gentle giant, as he's known, was 74. Buddy Baker enjoyed an amazing and lengthy career. Over some 33 years, raced 700 Cup races, In 1970 was the first driver to go beyond the 200-mile-an-hour mark. He won the big ones, but his proudest one, of course, the Daytona 500. He won the Southern 500. And as we just mentioned, known as the Gentle Giant, known as a leadfoot, though, because of that breaking the 200-mile-an-hour barrier. He then transitioned into a very successful broadcasting career, both in television and in radio, and in more recent years working on Sirius XM with our own Jim Noble. A lot of similarities between the Baker family and the Jarrett family, the racing, the broadcasting. Your dad raced against Buddy's dad. Yourself, you raced against Buddy. Very sad week.
Yeah, certainly. We all lost a good friend to our sport and a great ambassador to our sport. But more than anything, when Buddy Baker, as the competitor, showed up at the racetrack, he set the benchmark as to how fast you were going to have to go if you were going to compete on his level. But there were another side to him. He loved to laugh. He loved to tell jokes, loved to tell stories. But the biggest thing that I take away from it, too, as he went into commentary, just how he could bring to the fans, really make it almost real as to what he could bring to them and explain to them what these drivers were trying to do. What a great life he had, and we're certainly all fortunate to have been a part of that with Buddy. There were two things he always remember. He loved to go fast, and he loved to laugh, and he did a lot of both.
We're in the sport business, we're in the entertainment business, but we're in the storytelling business, and he was one of the best storytellers there was, certainly in our business. And as a mark of respect, dedication, and as a tribute to the now late Buddy Baker, every car has a Buddy Baker decal on it here at Mid-Ohio today. In Buddy's words, do not shed a tear. Give a smile when you say my name. So, Buddy, from everybody, all of your friends and NASCAR family here at Mid-Ohio, we're smiling. And getting close to seeing that green flag. That'll wrap up Countdown to Green for us here, getting ready for the Nationwide Children's Hospital 200 when we come back. For the third year in succession, the NASCAR Xfinity Series races at the famed Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course here in Lexington, Ohio. This is the Nationwide Children's Hospital 200. Beautiful day. It is getting a little warmer as the afternoon grows old. However, the breeze is slightly increasing, which will help the drivers out somewhat, but those reports of rain seem certainly far away. And as we said right at the top of the show at Countdown to Green, even if it did sprinkle here at Mid-Ohio, we've got rain tyres here for all 40 cars. Those Goodyear rain tyres are ready if needed, but there are no clouds in sight directly above the race course. Anyway, a good crowd on hand here at Mid-Ohio, ready to get going. Are you? Yes, we are too.
Race fans, at this time, please rise and remove your hats as the 179th Airlift Wing, based honor guard of the Ohio National Guard, presents our nation's colors. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this week, NASCAR lost one of its true legends with the passing of Buddy Baker. A NASCAR Hall of Fame nominee, Baker's career spanned parts of 7 decades, thrilling fans with on-track excellence, and later, as a broadcaster, educating and entertaining them with passion, knowledge, and unparalleled storytelling. Whether behind a steering wheel or a microphone, Baker's genuine love for our sport endeared him to generations of NASCAR fans. We ask that you please join us in a moment of silence as we honor the gentle giant, Buddy Baker. Thank you. Please remain standing as Reverend Susan Kaiser from Nationwide Children's Hospital offers today's invocation.
I invite you to pray with me now. O holy God of all people, places, and times, we thank you for this glorious day. We pray your continued health and blessing on all the boys and girls that are gathered here this day. And we give thanks for Nationwide Children's Hospital for all the good that it does in our world. We pray for our drivers and our crew this day, that they may be safe and we all may find joy in this event. We offer all of this with grateful hearts. Amen.
Here to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome the Columbus Children's Choir.
Well, the ingredients are in the mix for a great day here at Mid-Ohio. Hi, folks. Lee Diffie, Hall of Famer Dale Jarrett with you at Mid-Ohio. This guy said he's lucky that he's in the broadcast booth, not driving. This is an intimidating track, that's for sure. And we've got quite the story here today, folks. 22-year-old Texan Chris Buescher is the championship leader. He went into a little bit of a hole for, say, the past 5 or 6 races. He came out of that hole last weekend at Watkins Glen. He won here a year ago, DJ, his very first Xfinity Series race. And guess where he starts? He's on the front row.
Yeah, and he's established himself as a really good road racer. But speaking from experience, as someone that raced for championship, the road courses were always the one that you get grass on the grill, then you're going to make another entrance to pit road. That's going to cost you a lot of time here today. So Chris Buescher's job, not necessarily to win, but maintain here today.
Everybody knows that the 60 car will be strong with Buescher at the wheel. Roger Penske has brought in a hired gun. One race only. It's road course IndyCar specialist Alex Tagliani. He's on the pole, and boy, did he lay down an impressive lap today in qualifying.
Yeah, he certainly did. But his goal here today is totally opposite of Chris Buescher, really. It's not to maintain anything. He's got one race to go out and collect a trophy, give Roger Penske and this organization another win. That's his job. Anything less than that today will not satisfy him when he leaves here this afternoon. He is the best road racer in this field today, with all due respect to everybody else.
And that 22 car is on the top of the table as far as owners' points are concerned in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. When we come back, we're going to go racing. It's the Nationwide Children's Hospital 200 at Mid-Ohio.
They call his dad awesome. He's been sensational tonight.
He played him like a fiddle. Chris Buescher picks up the win.
Such a great feeling after 10 years. I'm so happy. I don't know how to tell you.
Checkered flag in hand for Chris Buescher. He earned it today.
Second of 3 road course races in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for 2015. Look at that. Isn't that a picture? Mid-Ohio, steeped in history for sports cars and open wheel racing. However, it's the NASCAR Xfinity Series turn now for the 3rd year in succession. This is the Nationwide Children's Hospital 200. 75 laps await us here today.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome today's Grand Marshals, the Nationwide Children's Hospital Patient Champions.
Drivers, start your engine!
Fired up.
Engines fired. Everybody's ready. Practice done. Qualifying done. Just the race to be run. And we'll do it when we come back.